Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Garden State Film Festival 2025. My name is Ming Chen. We're live at the Shared New Earth Podcast Lounge at the Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel in the beautiful city of Asbury Park. The film festival has taken over the entire city, and I couldn't be happier. Also up there in Cranford. But as we do every year at the film festival, we talk to all the amazing filmmakers who have toiled over their films, made their amazing creations, put everything on film, edited, submitted, and then got accepted. And I love to hear all the stories and everything that went into all the hard work. Hoping to maybe inspire you watching here right now to make a film and enter it in next year, or maybe return. Maybe you've been here before. Maybe you just love films. Then I'm trying to get you down here because this is definitely the coolest event of the weekend. I'm here with an amazing filmmaker. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Jeremy Schinder. And I am the director and writer and producer of a film that's screening here, and it's called Theo's Tears.
Amazing. So I was at the Meet the Filmmakers event last night, and what they do near the end, they roll trailers for most of the films, so you can find out what's coming up. Maybe you see a trailer for something you want to see, and it tells you where it's going to premiere and screen. I saw your trailer. I think yours, what really stood out, it was one. I was like, oh man, this is a cool trailer. I want to see this. I want to see Theo's Tears. Can you tell everybody about it?
Yeah, well, first to talk about that, I absolutely want to echo and uplift what you said in your opening statement. I definitely agree that this whole festival is supreme. I don't think I've had a more... I don't think my experience at other festivals for this film has been as beautiful. This is an incredible location.
And we haven't even really started.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of yesterday was a Meet the Filmmakers event, but it really kind of starts today. So already you're like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, the environment is crazy. Just being in the elevator with people and seeing their filmmaker badges, It's like, wow, I'm in good company. And even, walking the boardwalk this morning with my grandma, and it was a really, really beautiful sight that, we live in New Jersey, but we live in Bergen County. And so being in a area that's like right up against the ocean, it's almost like a diffment state.
It's pretty magical.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Really
yeah,
is. And the air too, the environment.
Oh, it's different. It's definitely different.
Yeah. And so, So sorry about that tangent.
No,
but I
not
had
at
to
all.
say it was
not at all.
beautiful.
This is why we do it here at the Jersey Shore, because it's different than anywhere else.
Yeah.
You can keep your Sundances and your South by Southwest. I would rather be at the Garden State Film Festival, but South by South, I still want to be invited. But anyway,
yes, yeah.
Back, can you please tell us about Theo's Tears, this amazing film?
Yeah. Well, it's actually funny you mentioned that. The first film festival I ever went to was South by Southwest 10 years ago this weekend.
Oh, wow.
So
okay,
it's sort of, and that was for acting in a role. And so it's very interesting now that as a director, this is actually the biggest festival I've been at so far. Yeah. So it's a nice little segue of the two.
That's amazing.
It's a pathway. It's a pipeline.
That's right.
So
it's amazing.
So my film Theo's Tears is it's my undergraduate thesis film.
Okay.
And I went to Syracuse University, and it was made. We shot it in October of 2023 and completed it in July of 2024.
Okay.
And so this is sort of a homecoming, if you will. I haven't shown this film in New Jersey before, so I'm incredibly honored to be doing it at such an impressive festival here. And the film at its core is a fractured relationship between a father and son who have very different perceptions of what it is to be a man.
Yeah.
And it is loosely based off of some of my own family members, some inspiration from my own life and my own experiences, and it really has been a labor of love. It's taken me about 3 years to develop from the first draft to the final shot, and I'm really glad, and I'm very humbled that this is sort of the first introduction into my world as a director, and trying to introduce people to sort of how my brain works and how I see the world.
Yeah, and I think your trailer is maybe a minute or so long.
Yeah, it's short. It's like 40 seconds.
It tells a lot, though, and it seems like a very personal story, is what I gathered. And the trailer is edited great. So
I appreciate that. That trailer took me about like 2 months to edit because I reworked things in my mind. I actually got this skill from my grandfather. My grandfather was a rabbi. and he was notorious for not writing down any single one of his sermons, and he would just go up on the podium and just start improvising, and magically it would just turn into this amazing, magical moment where everybody would feel that infectious energy. And so that was sort of my approach, was that I really pondered on how do I give a viewer as much information as possible without giving them any information.
Yeah.
And I think that I've been very, very grateful when people have come up to me even the past day and saying, "Wow, you're the Theo Kingston. That film looks really, really cool."
Yeah.
So I've been very, very appreciative of the reception.
Yeah. Was there one particular event or events that inspired you to write and create this film?
Yeah, definitely. There was when I was in my freshman year of college, I saw a Facebook post from my cousin that was about his son's 5th birthday party. And it was a picture of my second cousin sitting in front of this beautiful rainbow birthday cake. And in the message, it was something to the effect of, he talked about how he was raising his kids interfaith. He was Jewish. His wife is Catholic. They brought them both to temple and church. And by the time this kid was 5, it became very clear to some of the members of the church that he was dressing in a certain way. He was playing with certain toys that maybe they weren't used to. And my family made a collective decision to distance themselves from those sort of aggressors who felt the need to make their opinions known.
Yes.
And I was very honored and inspired that my family made that decision. And I thought, well, what would happen if the same scenario occurred, but instead of supporting your child, you instead were inspired by the voices around you, and you let that sort of negativity wash over you, and therefore become sort of becoming forced to do what the people that say that you should do and what you think they are supposed to do.
Even if it means not supporting your own family members or your own flesh and blood or your own son or daughter. And you said you started this in October 2023?
Well, we shot it in October 2023. Okay. I wrote the first draft by accident in my sophomore script writing class. This is a true story. I wrote a version of this script that was very dark and very antithetical to who I am and what I do, both as a person, but also as an actor and sort of my body of work. And I was so grateful that my screenwriting professor, her name's Sandy Sakir at Syracuse, she is an actor, screenwriter herself, so she saw something within me that she had in herself and understood that I was trying to write something that was so the opposite of me that it wasn't for me to play.
Right.
And she
recognized that.
Exactly.
Like,
and said,
you got something good here. Why don't you go?
Exactly.
She said, forcing it in this direction. Go with the natural.
Lean into what you're good at, And so I was, that became the new route. And by January 2021, that's when the first draft of this film, the version of this film, was written. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I don't want to say it was early, but it's still somewhat early. Now, the gender issues and what's supposed, what's right for one gender is, the line. There are no lines. That thankfully, the lines are kind of disappearing now as to the boundaries and the borders. Not so much back then. I think it's maybe kind of starting. So you were kind of at the forefront.
No, I definitely agree.
And those issues.
I think from my perspective, this film is not necessarily sort of catering or playing into that sort of current agenda, but sort of my own perspective of what it is to be a man, and therefore I'm more so exploring the aspects of masculinity that we are sort of accustomed to shy away from.
Right.
I'm a dancer. I've done ballet, and that's sort of not the typical. I never did football. I never did recreational sports and stuff like that. Although one consider marching band as a sport, so I did marching band.
2 days in the sun. No, I didn't do it, but I know people who did, and that's not easy. And ballet and dance, some would argue much harder than flattening people on the football field.
I agree. We recognize the contributions of both and we respect them. But that was certainly not my experience.
End, as long as you're living out your passions, you're not hurting anybody, and you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
That's one of the main messages. So in your film, you work with a couple of child actors that I can see
Yes,
in the trailer.
yes.
Maybe more. Was that challenging? What were the
It was
challenges in doing-
fantastic.
It was fantastic.
It was the most stressfully beautiful experience of my life.
Okay, that's a great description.
I've been a child actor working since I was 4 years old.
Okay, so you know what it feels like
Yes,
to be
yes.
directed and how to get the best performances out of kids. Then.
Exactly. And I've been so lucky that throughout my work as a child actor, I never was treated as less than.
Right.
From the first TV show I did was an HBO show called Bored to Death. And I remember I was like 7 and I was a guest star. And I remember being in the hair and makeup trailer. And it was like a Monday morning after the weekend, and the 2 leads of the show were getting, their trim, their movie trim.
Yes.
And I was there, and I was like listening to the banter back and forth of these veterans, and I was thinking to myself, like, I'm here, like I'm doing what I want to do, and so in my head, if I'm like the afterthought, that's okay because
Right.
I'm here.
Yeah.
And then
You
we
made
get
it.
to the
You
set.
made it there. Yeah.
We get to the set, and I was doing a little spot with Dick Cavett,
Yeah.
who was playing,
The
himself.
the
exactly.
legendary Dick Cavett. Yeah.
And he was so gracious and so joking with me, and to the point where the showrunner for the show came over and started just spitballing lines and say, "Hey, let's do another.
yeah.
Try this.
Do
Try
it like
this."
this. Say this. Yeah.
And so that was like my introduction to how adults can recognize true talent
Yeah.
in children of any ages.
Right.
And so that was my whole mindset going into this, was that I know what it's like to have been really respected and have been reaffirmed that this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right. And you're passing that on.
And I'm so grateful now that the 2 lead actors, Brody Book and Colby Kipnis, have since this have gone on to do bigger and better things.
Yeah.
And Colby was just in a show in Los Angeles, and now actually both the performers in the film are actually going to be here this weekend.
Oh, cool.
Getting to see it. Yeah.
Amazing. Are you? Where did you shoot this?
I shot this in Syracuse, in and around central New York,
Okay.
primarily on location. We didn't shoot in a studio, and so there was a lot of inclement weather
Right.
upstate New York that became
That's what they're known for.
yeah,
so-
it was a little bit of a challenge, but it was nothing that we couldn't handle, and I was very appreciative of my crew, especially my assistant directors, who were able to help navigate the inclement weather changing on a daily basis,
Right.
and we got it done.
Yeah. Other than odd weather changes, what was the biggest challenge that you faced in making this?
I think one of the biggest challenges that I faced in making this was allowing myself to sit back and understand that, I guess one could say that for this particular project, for all the roles that I've done on it, I was the director, the producer, the screenwriter, editor, gaffer. I lit the film. That one sort of say that I'm in that mindset of like auteur and like everything is my decision, everything's
Right.
what I say. But that's so against how I've come into this industry with so much communication and collaboration. So the biggest issue I would say is a lot of my not only classmates but the professionals who I hired to work on this film. When they see all the credits you're doing on the call sheet, they're like, oh, they sort of have an assumption of how it's going to operate.
Right.
But within the first hour of meeting everybody, I was basically running around like a kid in a candy store, and I can't believe I'm getting to do this.
Yeah, I get to do this. Like,
And
yeah.
everybody's ideas, I just continued to just encourage and uplift, and I always believe that the best ideas come from anywhere, and there's no need to conceal your thoughts or your own opinions of if I'm doing something that you think doesn't align with this values, the empathy, the emotion of what the film is, then I encourage everybody to say it.
Right.
And,
Yeah. Let me know what you think.
and I was very appreciative that we had a really great working environment. It was a very collaborative set.
Yeah, that's cool. So you shot over the period of you said October to July. That's what?
No, it was a 2-weekend shoot.
The
It was 6 days.
6 day shoot.
Yeah,
Okay.
very, very fast.
Okay.
And not only it was short, but it was 9-hour days because we were working with kids.
Right.
So it was like
laws, yep.
it was really like 5 full days,
Right.
but over the course of 6. Yeah.
That's amazing. And what was post production like? Was it
Post production
smooth, or-
was very fun, actually. I worked with a fantastic company called Silver Sound. Shout them out, Silver Sound.
Silver Sound. Check them out.
In New York City. They're a post production audio company, and I worked with an incredible re-recording mixer named Corey Choi. And he got referred to me by a family friend, and he basically turned a film that sounded like a really good student film into this is a professionally 5:1 mixed
Nice.
film.
Wow,
And
okay.
it was an incredible experience getting to sit on a couch and hear things and get to play around with spatial audio. And there are certain effects in the film when screened in a proper environment that things are designed to like create this sense of feeling not only in your surrounding but like in your gut sort of thing. And it's not a horror film. This is definitely not a horror film.
No.
But there are certain sequences in the film that really do make you feel nervous and like sort of elicit that fight or flight kind of thing. And so that was a really great
Which is what you were
experience.
aiming for. So
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And also my colorist, who is from Chile, who this is the second film I've worked on with him. He's been incredible because we've only worked virtually before, and that's one of the weird things that sort of COVID has sort of established sort of a routine for, which is people that would usually never work with each other have a system in place to collaborate.
Yeah,
And so
upload files,
Exactly.
Dropbox and whatever, and then work on them from there, and
so his work has also been
no
incredible.
boundaries though.
Yeah.
Worldwide collaboration.
Yeah. It's really the democratization of content has really been incredible for not only like my generation, but also older filmmakers who maybe never had all the opportunities to do things. Now that there's so much routine and structure and parameters in place for people to look over older projects that maybe they never had all the opportunities to finish at that time. Now the world's really like it's encouraging, and it's really emotional for me that I'm growing up now in an environment where it's not only encouraged but it's heavily endorsed by the industry itself.
For sure. Has this been screened anywhere else? Is it debuting here? Or?
Yeah, I know this film has screened in New York City, and it screened at the Buffalo International Film Festival as part of the Western New York short series. It was actually nominated as a student short film there, and that was an awesome festival as well. Similarly to this, but much more cold, much more cold.
Yeah.
But it's a great environment. All those Bills fans are super
They're
nice.
insane.
And they show out to those films. They really do.
They're insane. So what's the reaction been so far?
Oh, it's been incredible.
Okay,
it's
good.
been nothing short of joyous. Not only for me, but when I bring the cast to the films, that it's like for them, it's in a way, I'm sort of giving to them the experiences that I've had as a child actor. Not that they wouldn't have had it if they were talented in their own right.
Sure.
I'm sure another director would have been able to, give them similar experiences. But it's been really wholesome for me, and I'm very young. I'm 22 years old.
Yeah.
And so it's been really a pleasure getting to be in spaces with much more veteran people who really have been so generous in sharing their opinions and their feedback of what to do next. And so that's sort of that's the joy is throughout this festival run. I've listened and I've reflected, and now I'm really lucky that when people ask me, what are you doing next? Like, thanks to their answers and their opinions of how I should proceed. I have answers, so it's a really cool thing.
Yeah. Well, what are you working on next that you can talk about?
So I'm actually currently in development for a few projects, but I'm in active pre-production for a documentary that I'm making. I'm not a documentary filmmaker by any means, but I sort of have been thrust into this beautiful position of sort of getting the opportunity to tell the story of my grandfather that he never got the opportunity to tell himself.
I mean, what better person to do it? So
yeah, and I've been working really closely with my brother and obviously my grandmother, who's just out of frame over here.
Yep, but she's right here. Her presence is here.
It's been incredible, and it's been really cool going to sort of archives and digitizing a lot of analog and old media and stuff like that. And so the documentary is going to be shooting the next year, and it's sort of about his legacy and impact on the Jewish community, basically using music as sort of a vessel to make it inclusive and try to engage people that somewhat feel distant.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, congratulations with Theo's
Thank
Tears.
you so much. Really.
When and where are you screening?
So at this festival, we are screening on tomorrow, Saturday at 3 p.m. right here in the Berkeley Hotel,
Yep, the Continental Ballroom. Yep,
and
awesome venue.
We got a great showcase for that block. I was fortunate enough to meet one of the other filmmakers on that block as well, so it's going to be a really great crowd, and I hope you can join us.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for jumping
thank you
in over
very
here.
much.
Again, I love the trailer, so I hope you'll be able to jump up and catch it.
Yeah, thank you.
Great luck with everything, my friend.
Thank you.
Welcome to Garden State, man.
Thank you very much. I hope to stay.
Oh yeah, well, stay, return,
retire.
Retire here. Why not, man?
Thank you.
Why not here? But thanks for joining us here in the lounge, and enjoy your weekend for sure. I'm sure I'll be seeing you at all the events.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank
you. I mean, what a great reason. What other reason you come down here and meet great filmmakers? Like you over here. GSFF.org for schedules, tickets, info, whatever you need, or just stop down. You can buy tickets at the door here at the Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel. There's a table right out front. You just pick up a ticket, see one film, see them all. Just come and experience this amazing event. But I'm going to be here with you live streaming all weekend with amazing filmmakers. But thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
very
much.
It.
Appreciate it.
Great luck with the film. You've done something awesome. So,
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a second.